Hi, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I haven't gotten the chance to talk to you guys together as a group lately, so I just wanted to share with you some key messages and some things that have been on my mind that I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, thank you guys for everything that you're doing for our students. Our shining stars are so blessed to have you guys teaching them this year. And so thank you for hanging in with us. We are well into our first quarter. Interims are now done, and we are getting ready to have a few more weeks of teaching before we finalize grades for quarter one. I've had an opportunity to see most of you in action, and you guys are truly fantastic, and I can tell how dedicated you are and how well planned you are for our kiddos. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for making me feel good about giving you that extra special, because I can tell that you're using your time to really plan for kids and also to support them in whatever their needs are. So thank you guys for taking those every minute of their day seriously. I did want to tell you that we do have a 9:30 instructional start time, and I do realize that sometimes our kids are trickling in. I've been looking at the hallways and have been walking around seeing how many people are able to really start instruction at 9:30. And I can tell that it's a little bit of a challenge for some of us. And I know that we like to wait exactly until after the announcements are over to then start welcoming the kids and talking about the day and all of that. And I do realize how valuable those things are. But as soon as we spend 2 or 3 minutes setting them up for what their day is going to look like, it is important that you start your CKLA and or your Eureka block immediately. And so I want you to start thinking about how you're provisioning so that you can hit the ground running. I did witness a teacher who had all the fluency papers out so that as soon as those announcements were over, she could go ahead and get started. Keep in mind that although you have some kids that just got in your classroom, maybe like 2 minutes ago, you've also had other kids that have been in your classroom for about 13 minutes waiting and ready to start their day. And remember that our start time of us giving the instruction, they can still be eating, some of them can still be settling, but we are starting the instruction at 9:30. And I wanted us to just collectively try our best to get close to that time as possible. So I want to give you guys a couple of other tips. First of all, I love a lot of the instruction that I've seen. I love how much you guys are doing turn and talk and how you're trying to elevate discourse in your room. But there's a couple of other things that I just wanted to also say. Oh, I also love a lot of the bulletin boards. Thank you for showing student work on your bulletin boards. Please make sure that all your bulletin boards have a title and that we know what the product was supposed to be. They are lovely, and I love seeing students write. I think writing is a missing art that we have definitely gone away from, that our students still really need. So here are some just general things that I want you to be aware of as you are instructing our students. So the first one is that there is a rule called 30-90, right? So for every 30 minutes of sitting, there has to be 90 seconds of movement. And so if you have them sitting and working, and our kids have great stamina, I will say that. I've loved watching them sit and attend for as long as they have, and they're doing a great job. But there can always be 90 seconds of movement. And so figure out a way to track that for yourself. You can put on a timer. You can just have some of you have it embedded already where after you know they've been sitting for 30 minutes, 90 seconds of movement. So it does not have to be a brain break. It could be stand up and talk to someone at a different table. Here's the sentence frame. This is what we're talking about. So you could use it as your discourse move as well, but just make sure students are getting up, because when you're sitting down, all the blood rushes to the bottom and your blood is not flowing as well as it could, and it really will help with our students kind of retain and gain information. So that's the 30-90 rule. I want to say again, it is not a brain break. It could be just getting up to do something or getting up to process something, just to get the body moving. So that's the 30-90 rule. The other rule that I want you to be aware of is the 10 and 2 rule. For every 10 minutes of you pouring into the children, so imagine like a tall glass of water, and you're pouring information into the students, and it's going and it's going, it's going. Eventually you need to drink the water. So the drinking the water is kind of like the 2 minutes. And by drinking the water, it means that they need to process. They need to interact with the content. So for every 10 minutes of you pouring, talking, they now need to like engage with the material. So a lot of you guys do this when you've modeled, and then you do, I do, we do kind of thing. All those strategies are great. But for 10 minutes of you pouring information and showing, they also need to engage with the content. And a lot of you guys are already doing that. I will say that. I've seen definitely me, you, us process. So that's great. I've seen a lot of sitting down teaching. And I don't mean sitting down because you are using your camera to model and your camera is there. You're just sitting, some people are just sitting down. And I'm not really sure why you guys are doing that. It's only been a couple people. So here's the thing. If I see something and I see more than 3 people doing it, I probably will just bring it up to everyone because I can't be everywhere. So I don't know if everyone's doing it. So, but there's people who I've seen, they're just sitting and teaching. Like they're sitting in their chair and they're talking to the kids about whatever is on the board and whatever is happening. They're not necessarily like modeling. And the classroom I saw it in, the kids were on whiteboards and the teacher was like, hey, what's the answer? So the kids were putting up the answer, but some of the kids weren't even doing it. And they were kind of like putting up their whiteboard. And because of where the teacher was positioned, they couldn't tell that the kids weren't doing it. So it was just a little bit like made me wonder. So just be careful with the sitting down and then instructing from far away, because it's harder for you to check for understanding and you might lose people and you don't see everything that's happening. And so I did buy some clickers. If you are sitting down next to your computer because you want to be able to click or advance your slides, I do have a couple of clickers if anyone's interested in clickers. If you ask me for a clicker, I'm not judging you. I'm not saying, hey, we're sitting down teaching, but I'm just saying that's something that I noticed that I wanted to just put out there. Make sure that you are using proximity, that you are instructing in a way that has you around our students so that you can see what they're producing and what they're thinking. Continue to push those discourse strategies. Continue to make sure you have opportunities for students to share what they are thinking. Their thinking is so valuable, and it helps you uncover whether or not they really got it. So that's it. Keep doing wonderful work. Thank you. I will talk to you guys and see you guys soon.